crunch time. The exact opposite for Michigan. This is a deep team. They'll run 9 players who average at least 14 minutes a game. 8 Wolverines average between 7 and 15 points per game. This is a deep squad trying to clinch a share of the Big Ten crown tonight on the Big Ten Network.
Folks, because Minnesota doesn't have a lot of players, only really 7 available, you're going to see a lot of zone tonight. So it's going to be important for Michigan to get that basketball down in the painted area and look to attack out.
They work that way with a dime Mara to start things off. Clint Cadeau. And now to Mari Burnett. The jump stop in the paint. Backs it out short, and there's Mara to clean it up for Morez Johnson Jr.
That's exactly what we were talking about. You can get that basketball in the paint, it forces that defense to collapse. And you can get lobs on the backside or skips to the weak side. That time a lob over the top. Beautifully executed by the Wolverines.
You talked about zone on that end for Minnesota. On this end, deliberate offense in most scenarios. Isaac Osima off on the 3 there.
I was able to get a good look there in their 3 wins, the last 3 particularly here in Big Ten play. This Minnesota team has averaged 11 made threes. They're going to need about 14 of those to win on Michigan's home floor tonight.
Cadeau will try to get a 3 for Michigan, and he does. And the start that Minnesota didn't want to see, and the start that Dusty May did, a 5-0 advantage.
Back-to-back possessions where that basketball touched the paint. First led to a lob, second led to a 3.
Here's Tyson trying to get things going. His 3 is off. Cadeau with the rebound and the push.
If this game continues to be played at this pace, Michigan will blow Minnesota off the floor. They've got to slow down this pace and make Michigan play a half-court game.
Mara trying to hit the cutting Burnett, and he turns that one over.
Folks, look at this. Dribble penetration into the lane, a little pass down to Morez Johnson, and he just lobs it over the top. Beautifully executed there. And then it touches the paint again and skips it to the weak side, a return pass, and able to knock down that 3. Back-to-back, well-done attacks against that 2-3 zone.
And now let's see what Minnesota can cook up on this end of the floor. This is going to be a slow, deliberate offensive pace. Tyson will try to get that 3 going, and this time finds the range. 7 of 9, as you mentioned in the open, against Rutgers the last time out.
Does such a nice job of moving without the basketball. He's got a quick trigger, hard to challenge at 6'9", because he's got a nice eye released as well.
There's Burnett. Just threw that one a little too tall for Mara, which is hard to do because he's 7'3".
Yes.
Osima. On that one, that's it out of bounds with 13 to shoot. Good conversation earlier today at the shoot around the practice before the game with that man Dusty May, and he said, look, I said to him, what did the guys learn from the loss against Duke, and what did you learn? He said, well, the guys learned they can be beat if they don't play well. He said, we're invincible, not invincible.
Indeed, and you can see already in the first couple possessions, they're getting out of the playing and passing lanes, trying to be a lot more aggressive, something they didn't do against Duke, and Duke was able to get almost any look they wanted. And continue to get that basketball in the paint.
You're going to see a steady diet of zone tonight to try to protect this thin Minnesota lineup. Cadeau's 3 over that zone, rebounded by Grayson Grove. It's been one benefit for Minnesota of the short roster is that guys who have gotten opportunities to step up, like that young man in Langston Reynolds and the other man who got the rebound, Grayson Grove, have had more prominent roles as a result of these injuries.
And we know that Langston Reynolds can score the basketball, but I love the way he's been passing it. 2 double-digit assist games in Big Ten play, 13 against Northwestern and 10 against Wisconsin. He's been a valuable cog in this offense.
There's Cadeau in the middle of the zone. He turns the corner and flips it in.
You'll see that over and over again tonight, Kevin. When that basketball touches the paint, man, you can get some high-quality shots against that zone.
Osima. Now Reynolds, he got it going downhill last time. Finds Osima in the corner, 13 to shoot. There's Tyson, got an open look, and he makes him pay. Tyson gives the Gophers the lead.
And that's an area that Osima's really improved. Able to get in the lane, come to a 2-foot jump stop. It flattens out that defense. Tyson slides behind it and knocks down a 3.
Morez Johnson Jr. looking to respond. And a good Karaman, we've got a whistle and a foul. A push trying to clear out Cade Tyson. It'll go on Nimari Burnett, his first. Minnesota and Michigan locking up on the Big Ten Network with a Big Ten title on the line. Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Hilton. Hilton for the stay. And brought to you by Marco's Pizza. Order your Marco's Pizza now at marcos.com. Maybe that's what Andy Katz is doing tonight. He was supposed to be with us on the broadcast, but Andy is part of history in Providence, Rhode Island. 37 inches of snow. They got more snow from Winter Storm Hernando than they've had in the entire winter. I think in 5 of the last 6 winters I saw today.
That's incredible.
Anyway, Andy Katz is buried under 37 inches of snow. That's the only sighting we've had of Andy. We hope he's okay.
Yes.
The dog's trying to lead him out of trouble.
Did you see how deep that snow was? You can hardly see the dog.
See Andy.
Right?
Minnesota breaks a little bit of pressure. 5 of the first 6 shot attempts for the Gophers are behind the arc. That's not a surprise to you,
It's going to have to be that way. I think they're going to have to make 14 of 15 threes in this game to have a shot in the end.
Another 3. That one's strong. Rebound. Burnett has it for Michigan.
Good look, though.
Very good look. What do you want to see on this end of the floor now against this zone?
Look, you're playing against a team that only has 6 players. You can't be settling for jump shots because you're playing against a zone. You've got to get that basketball in the painted area and attack. Get it in the middle at that Big Ten area and look baseline and get something in the middle of the floor. You can't just rely on the Jays. Nice.
Nice pass, and there's Roddy Gale Jr. Everything but the bucket, but the execution other than the shot was right there.
Love it.
There's Tyson. A couple of threes already for Tyson. Open in the corner. The 3 is up and off. Reynolds trying to connect. Just a 26% shooter this year from 3.
Sometimes there's a reason why you're wide open. The scouting report says do not run at him. Force him to try to make a couple, and then we'll adjust.
Burnett on the drive. Got the nice roll and a 9-8 Michigan lead.
Kevin, I love the last 2 offensive possessions from Michigan. Everything in the paint and at the rim. That's got to continue for the balance of this game.
Sometimes you can see the emphasis from the grease board coming right out onto the floor.
Yes, you can.
Tyson on the drive, past Lindebor. Good recovery. Durkin.
This kid Durkin, he's got to be one of those guys that's knocking down threes. He can really stick it.
5 to shoot. He'll launch, and Durkin will hit. From your lips to his shooting touch.
he can shoot it, man. 51% from 3 over his last 7 games.
Trying to get it to Johnson, ends up on the floor. This will be tied up. They'll look to the possession arrow, and it points Minnesota's way. Go for ball. There's Nico Medved. We had a long conversation about the numbers game with him today. See, 0-43 on the road against the top 5 team all time. We asked him, look, how do you do it with this lineup? He said, we got to play slower than ever. We have to make the other team play against a set defense, basically our zone. And he said, look, we've got to embrace it. It is what it is. Nobody's coming reinforcements.
They are not.
Nice cut. And Reynolds with the finish.
We've worked together before.
We have. I know what you're looking for.
Yes.
LJ Kaysen get inside that defense and then back out to the open man and Elliot Cadeau. It rims out. The rebound ends up with Johnson. Now Kaysen got an open look. And he finishes.
I love the ball movement, and if you're going to shoot those threes, you got to shoot those threes inside out. And so I'd still prefer Michigan to turn it down and attack, because you can get this team in foul trouble. It would be curtains.
Reynolds a little sped up, and he lost that basketball. Lindeborg up the floor, and Gale trying to save it. He does. Durkin with a fingertip on to bat it out of bounds.
Folks, we talked about Bobby Durkin, number 3 for the Gophers. He can flat out shoot the rock. And for them to have a chance to win this game, he's got to get going. He knocks down that 3 and a little backdoor cut, beautifully done. Reynolds able to finish that one with his left hand at the front of the rim. Michigan loves to switch all of those actions. And so when you can get some switches with the way Minnesota does their offense, you can go backcourt, backdoor, and that's exactly what they did there.
You see the contrast in styles. Michigan likes the number of possessions to be up. Minnesota has to have them down. McKinney Strong on the three, and Reynolds the rebound. 2 for 6 from three to start for Michigan.
And Trey McKinney just checked into the game. I'd like to see him turn that one down and get that basketball to the other side of the floor and see what they can get in the paint.
The pace has slowed considerably towards Minnesota's favor, but a couple of bobbles costing the Gophers some possessions.
And that was one of the things that Nico Medved talked to us about. He said the fourth thing is that they couldn't turn the basketball over. Because this is a Michigan team, man. You turn the basketball over, it can avalanche for you. This is your defense.
Second turnover for the Gophers, 3 for Michigan in this first half. Entry to Mara. Mara spinning baseline against Grove. What a find and finish. Roddy Gale Jr. with a hammer.
How about that? Your 7'3" center making a move on the baseline and dropping a dime to your cut and 2 guard. That's pretty.
And very rare. You don't see that a lot. Ty Shinholster, one of the few reserves available for the Gophers on the floor. Here's Tyson. Back out he goes. Open is Reynolds. The shot fake finds an open Tyson. The three is way off, and the rebound scooped up by Kaysen.
You don't see that too often. Tyson lost that shot. Came off on the right side of his hand.
Here's Gale. Dives back iron. Grove the rebound.
Again, I get it, Kev, but way too many jump shots here early for the Wolverines.
Minnesota, 2.5 minutes scoreless here. Down just 1. Shinholster, the freshman. Reynolds in the corner, it's Durkin. That three rattles home. It's his second. He's made at least 3 threes in 7 straight games.
This kid can flat out stick it, and you saw that possession, folks. This is a Minnesota team that wants to make you play 25 to 26 seconds in the shot clock and try to get you to break down, and that's exactly what happened on that possession.
Almost lull you to sleep a little bit. Cadeau, and a bump. That'll be a foul on Reynolds. His first Gopher foul.
Oh, this is sick. This is your 7'3" center. Quick spin on the baseline and the vision and a nice cut inside by Roddy Gale Jr. This is awfully impressive. The Michigan Wolverines find themselves down 2 on their home floor.
I remember sticking this leg up on the bulkhead and hanging on for dear life. But we were going to stop in a safe place.
The big story, the miracle of March 8th, premieres immediately after the game, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. We got a preview of this a couple of weeks ago, Fonz. This is so good. It's the story of the 2017 Michigan team. The plane crashed right before the Big Ten tournament in D.C. They end up winning the tournament as the 8th seed. I remember that very well. I was in D.C. when that plane crashed for Michigan, and that is such a good show. You're going to love that, I promise you, coming up immediately after we're done here on the Big Ten Network.
Just the story alone is compelling.
Oh, here's Kaysen.
Love it.
Compelling drive and good follow. Gale with the bucket, and he'll go to the line for one more.
I absolutely love Roddy Gale Jr. Comes off the bench and gives this Michigan Wolverine team a much-needed boost. So I'm cut down the lane to be a passing recipient, and this time on the offensive glass, and an opportunity for a three-point play here.
So Gale at the line. And Roddy Gale Jr. has been the difference off the bench. He's got 5 quick points off the bench for Michigan.
Coach Dusty May calls him the king of the invisible plays. Deflections, good spacing, communication. He's an excellent cutter. Tremendous asset to this Wolverine team.
Cheddar on the floor now. Lindeborg getting a breather. A little pressure applied. They break the press, and then a turnover. Boy, Tyson breaks the press. He had Shinholster open in the corner and just bounced it out of bounds.
Well, I love what Dusty May's trying to do. He's trying to manufacture some pace in this game by full court pressuring. And if you can get a few turnovers along the way, it'll allow this high-octane transition game to get going.
Yeah, because the pace, which started in Michigan's favor, Fonz, really shifted over the last 5 minutes towards Minnesota.
Good call, Kev.
Double comes in the post. He gets rid of it to Gale on the cut. Offensive rebound. That's short. And the rebound cradled by Isaac Asima.
Minnesota's got numbers here, but they'll slow that thing down because they want to force this Michigan team to have to play against a full shot clock here to try to find some weaknesses on the second and third side of the floor.
Here's Asama, got past Cheddar all the way to the rim, and he beat Mara for 2.
Yeah, Cheddar never got him squared off, and that little hesitation dribble opened up that gap for him to attack to the right. Really well done there by Isaac Asama. There's a lob on the back door if you can find it.
Gale against Grove, up and under for 2.
He's so steady.
18 Michigan. Durkin inside, and that's batted out of bounds. Last touched by Cheddar.
Minnesota basketball. Checking into the Gophers, number 6, Langston Reynolds. Checking in for
I wasn't sure about that pass. I think Durkin thought he was going to cut back door, and he was still right there. Cheddar asked the group to challenge this one because he thought he was off of Minnesota.
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge from Michigan. Cheddar says that I didn't touch it, wasn't me. He's explaining to the group as to why he convinced them to use the coach's challenge.
Let's see if Cheddar is correct. Okay, off Minnesota, Cheddar didn't touch it. That's a good call. And I think there's enough evidence over there to overturn it.
Watch it again. It's the arm of Shinholster. Slow it down.
Kevin, I love Will Cheddar. Every team should have a Will Cheddar. Grew up on the farm, 2 school years in China, star quarterback in high school, and he's been an absolute leader, playing so many different roles for this Michigan Wolverines team. He's practically a 6th coach out there, and just a workhorse, an excellent student as well.
Was a big-time scorer in high school, and he was a finalist for Mr. Basketball as well as being that quarterback. So it wasn't as if he didn't have the prowess in a variety of areas, and he's shown that off.
Got his undergrad degree in 3 years from the University of Michigan.
Upon review, that it is a successful challenge. It will be Michigan ball on the baseline with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Michigan will have 1 remaining challenge.
All right, so Michigan keeps the timeout, keep the challenge, and now they keep the ball.
Did you see Will look at the coach and say, thanks for the challenge?
Yeah. Well, you said he's like another coach on the floor. You're going to listen to your coach.
Love that kid. Michigan's got to continue to get that basketball in the paint off the bounce or off the pass and crash the glass.
Mara finds the open man in the corner. Lendeboer, an offensive foul. Driving into Cade Tyson, who already has 1, and Lendeboer picks up his first.
Yaxel turns down this wide open 3 and aggressively attacks the baseline. And this is what he did on Saturday.
Our hardest working player brought to you by Harbor Freight. He worked for 39 minutes in that game.
I mean, there's literally not a category in the stat sheet that he doesn't positively impact. One of the more well-rounded, versatile bigs in the country. And he's the 3-man at 6'9".
Certainly the star going into the offseason last year in the transfer portal. Everybody had their eye on Yaxel Lendeboer. Michigan able to secure him. And you've seen it this year. He does so many different things. He scores 21% of his points on the break. He's a 6'9" guy that scores 21% of the points on fast break.
Can pull it off the backboard and push it and make decisions in transition. That's one of those back cuts that we talked about. That's really good positioning by Trey McKinney, number 1 in white.
Kenny got his hand on it. Now McKinney trying to put points on the board on this end.
I like this lineup that's on the floor right now offensively for Michigan. It's a versatility.
That will be Minnesota ball. Michigan looking over to the bench. Do they want to challenge and use their second? Dusty May is looking behind the bench.
But Kevin, even if they're right, do you want to use it now or just kind of let it go? Because even if you win it, you're out of them for the rest of the game.
And that's the calculus involved here. Do you want to give up your second challenge with the 8:08 on the clock? And Dusty May says, no, I do not. Apply a little pressure. In some trouble. Reynolds needs to get it across, and he finds Durkin.
Nice.
A lob underneath to Grayson Grove. Break the press to score.
Yeah, when you can break it, now all of a sudden you get 3-on-2, 2-on-1s on the backside of it, and Minnesota executing beautifully against that zone, against that full court pressure.
Lendeboer, not even a shot attempt yet. Jump stop, back to Lindebor. Nowhere to go. Burnett, deep three, and that splashed down.
It's great ball movement there from the Wolverines, just being patient, waiting for an open opportunity. Amari Burnett steps right in and knocks that one down at 39% from 3 on the year.
10 lead changes already in this ballgame. Reynolds leaning in, up, off the glass, short, rebound Lindebor.
Boy, Trey McKinney's a linebacker out there in the guard's body doing a terrific job of holding his position defensively. That was really well done.
6'4", 225. That's a linebacker build, all right. Wrap around to Johnson, and Johnson fouled by Grayson Grove. His first third-team foul on the Gophers at a timeout on the floor. Good ball game in Ann Arbor with the home team up a pair. March 10th through the 15th, the 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament returns to the United Center in Chicago. Tickets are on sale now. Head to big10.org/MBBT to secure your seats today. You know, Michigan will be there. They're likely not going to play their first game until Friday at the Big Ten Tournament. Roddy Gale Jr. figures to play a big role.
Yeah, sometimes when your offense is not going, you need someone to come off the bench and give you a boost, and that's exactly what Roddy Gale has done. He's been able to get on the offensive glass, have made some plays in the paint, and he's really given this team a nice lift here early. 7 of the 22 points for the Michigan Wolverines. He's been exceptional here early.
Pace of this game certainly in Minnesota's favor, and it's really limited the ability to get out and run. Nobody's had a run more than 5-0 as Burnett launches another three, and awesome on the rebound.
A nice little screen in there by Morris Johnson Jr., just not able to knock that one down. I still think that Michigan is settling. They've got to attack the paint.
Deep three for Osama, but a wide open look won't go. Minnesota 4 of 11 from 3. Quick pass ahead, Lindebor, open three. Too strong, and there's the rebound to Reynolds.
Michigan's now 3 of 10 from the three-point line.
Tyson will try. Late contest, that may have thrown it off a bit.
That's 2 now. That a late contest have gotten him off his rhythm. He's going to shot fake that one and drive going forward. He's got the angle there.
Here's McKinney, he'll try a three, and that one will rattle in. 4 for 11 for Michigan from 3, and a timeout taken by Minnesota. The bench doing the work tonight for the Wolverines, 13 off the bench. Five-point lead, Michigan matching their largest lead of this first half thanks to the three a moment ago, the first 6-0 run of the ballgame. And you look at the standings, and you see this is up to date based on what has happened so far tonight, with Indiana now dropping to 8 and 9 in the standings. They're certainly well below that second line. The 4 teams above the top line, triple bye. In between the 2 lines, double bye. To the right of your screen, above that line, single bye. Below that line, you start your Big Ten tournament on Tuesday.
With all of the injuries that Minnesota's had, it's amazing that they're in the position that they are going into the going into the Big Ten tournament.
To have a single bye,
Yes.
with only 7 players that play any regular minutes is remarkable. Danger zone here, though, for these Gophers.
Need to stop here.
Oh, and a turnover right into the hands of Bobby Durkin. Minnesota hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. To shoot. Here's Grove.
This is where Minnesota will look to score.
Have to hurry. 3 to shoot. Deep triple. Just grazes the rim. Good defense by Michigan.
Michigan's doing a really nice job of switching that action and is forcing that offense to initiate far out on the floor.
McKinney couldn't get the roll. Good box out by Grayson Grove to keep Johnson off the glass.
Yes, it was.
Here's Asama. Tyson, the open man after the drive. That three is strong, and Tyson not finding the range yet, 2 for 6.
Kevin, he's floating to his left on his jump shots. He's got to make sure that when he shoots it, that he's almost coming back down in this place that he left off.
McKinney, wide open triple, and Michigan's largest lead of the night, up 8.
16 of the 28 points from Michigan has come from its bench.
Minnesota without a bench. They've missed their last 5 shots.
Look at that aggressive defense and how far forcing Minnesota to catch the basketball out on the floor.
Good find inside, and how about the cleanup? Right in the middle of the lane, Morez Johnson Jr. Burnett sizing up a triple. And the rebound and a foul. It's going to go on Wilt Cheddar, I believe, with the push in the back of Tyson.
Ball movement of Michigan has been crisp here. McKinney able to relocate on a little slide to his right and able to drill that three. And a mismatch inside. Morris Johnson recognizes and blocks it over the top. All of a sudden, Michigan starting to get the pace that they're looking for, up 8 on its home floor.
The best start in program history for these Wolverines. They can flex their muscle in so many different ways, inside, outside, bringing smiles to the face of your head coach. And you see the best starts in program history and where they ended up. Runner-up, Elite 8, Sweet 16, second round in that 84-85 season. Where will this group end up? They're good enough, Fonz, to win the whole thing.
And there's no doubt about it. One of the most efficient offenses in the nation combined with the most efficient defense in the nation. Positional size, and has what I think is the best front court in all of college basketball with Ademar Morris Johnson Jr., Yaxel Lindenborg, and my favorite, Wilt Cheddar.
It's 4.5 minutes since the Gophers were able to put points on the board. Reynolds trying to change it, spins inside, and he draws the contact and the foul. Reynolds backing in against Roddy Gale Jr., who picks up his first.
Kevin, I like the changeup. Several possessions in a row for Minnesota. It was all three-point shooting, and now coming out of that timeout, Reynolds able to put his head down to get to the front of the rim and get fouled.
Just the 4th team foul on Michigan, so Minnesota will inbound. It's Durkin into Reynolds. Gophers at 40% from the floor, 4 of 14 from 3.
And mismatch inside with Grayson Grove, number 2. You can find him.
Here's Tyson. Tough contested jumper. Cheddar was all over him.
Yeah, he was anticipating Grayson Grove screening his guy, and it never materialized.
Through to the post against Grove. Johnson just clearing space. He's too strong down there.
And Grayson Grove can't do anything down there with him because Grayson Grove's the only big man that Minnesota has. So he's got to keep himself out of foul trouble.
10-point Michigan lead. Flip back to Durkin from Grove. 3 won't go, and there's Johnson. Rebound number 4.
All of a sudden, the very thing that Minnesota needed to try to win this game, they've gone cold. 4 of 15 from 3 in this game.
Missed their last 8 shots from the floor overall. Haven't scored in almost 6 minutes. Extra pass. Case in the open man from Cheddar. Morez Johnson tried the tip, and it ends up with Reynolds.
Minnesota really needs a bucket here.
Asama trying to provide it with the drive to the rim.
Opportunistic transition team, but the lack of bodies that it has. That's a really good read by Asama, recognizing he had a speed advantage and able to use the rim to keep the shot blocker from getting to it. That was really nice.
Burnett against Grove, baseline. Good defense by Grove without fouling. He's been a really nice growth piece.
Yes. would not be playing if they had a fully healthy team, and he's really stepped in and given them some positive minutes. Screening, passing, on the glass, and gives them some buckets as well. Nice cut.
Asama to the rim again. Back-to-back twos for Isaac Asama at the rim.
I actually thought that should have been an and one, Kev. He got fouled as he was going inside.
How about Reynolds? Right up into the grill of Burnett to take it away, and Reynolds fouled. Count that bucket. He'll go to the line for one more, and here come the Gophers.
Coming out of that last timeout, Niko Medved wanted his guys to attack the basket. Nice little back cut there from Asama. Drew a little contact, didn't get the and one, but now in transition, doing a really nice job of protecting the basketball, keeping it on his outside hip, able to draw a foul, an opportunity for a three-point play here. Just when you thought Michigan had some momentum, two nice plays back-to-back to get Minnesota back in this game.
And Reynolds with 6 points at the line. Strong on the free throw. He's struggled at the line this year, just 58%. Coming up, stick around the halftime show presented by State Farm with Kylan Mills and Bruce Weber in our studios in Chicago.
He's got to get inside that paint.
There it is. Back to Gale. 10 to shoot. And he throws it away.
He's got to throw that up. He's 7'3". There's no one who can get up in that airspace. I used to get so upset with guards who threw me bounce passes.
Like
throw
take
it
it
up.
there.
Yes.
I'm up there. They're not.
Yes.
The triple. Strong for Asama. Good rebound by Elliot Cadeau.
Minnesota's gotten some really good looks at three. They've just not been able to knock them down.
Timeout taken by Michigan. Their use it or lose it timeout with 32.5 to go, trying to stop this late 6-0 Gopher run that has Minnesota back within 4. It's the longest run of the evening for Minnesota, and it came with drives to the basket, not the threes. Well, we are a hockey nation now, and Thursday, men's hockey comes your way when the second-ranked Wolverines and Gophers face off here in Ann Arbor. The puck drops at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Right after the U.S. women's team and the U.S. men's team captivated the nation over the weekend by dominating the world, taking gold, making the United States solidly the #1 hockey land anywhere.
Made me a proud American. I am anyway, but even the next level, finding out we were able to take double gold. Where were you when you found out?
I was watching it on my television.
Really?
It was a great way to start a Sunday morning, along with about everybody else I know who was watching on Sunday. I mean, just outstanding. What a great weekend. But now back to hoops.
Big lineup here for Michigan. They should be able to get to the offensive glass after a shot's taken.
8 seconds the difference between game and shot clock, down to 8 to shoot. Cadeau on the drive to the rim. That'll end that 6-0 run in a hurry.
Asama was up on his left side, that opened up that driving lane to the right.
Gophers with the last shot before halftime. Reynolds sizing up Mara. 2 seconds, 1 second. Reynolds with the blow-by and the bucket at the horn. And we've got a 4-point game at halftime.
One shot in the first half, that is completely unacceptable. Got to get number 23 in white involved on the offensive end.
Johnson, Mara, Lendeborg combined 4 points in the first half. See where they go in this second half, and the ball tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Michigan. Lendeborg trying to get it to Burnett in the corner.
Yes. And we said it all first half, Kevin, that basketball has to touch the paint. Off the pass or off the bounce.
All right, Burnett frustrated, couldn't get that inside. Trying to wrap it around a couple of defenders tomorrow and kick balls. That's 20 on the shot clock.
Kevin, keep an eye on number 2, Grayson Groves. He hurt his shoulder in the first half, and he's got that thing pretty well bandaged up here. And when you're battling down there as a big, you need to have your arms and shoulders to be able to do so. And they can ill afford to lose him. He's the only big they have.
Yeah, there's no reinforcement waiting on the bench. He's the only healthy post.
Nice.
Lendeborg, 7 to shoot. Trying to get aggressive. Finds Mara, fades away for 2.
I love it. Big to big passing inside. And if Mara didn't have it, he would have been able to drop it down to Johnson underneath. Michigan's got to create some pace in this game. They're at its best when it's in transition.
Here's Grove for three. And a good rebound by Tyson. The triple up and down for Isaac Osama. His first after an 0-for-3 start.
You don't put away an inferior team early. It gives them a level of confidence, and Minnesota's come out quite confident here in the second half.
Lindeborg. Offensive rebound. Oh, what a swat by Reynolds. Langston Reynolds rejected Morez Johnson Jr.
How about the reaction? This Minnesota team right now is playing more physical. They're a little tougher than the Wolverines. The Wolverines got to snap out of whatever it is they're in right now. And you do that by punching that thing inside and getting on the offensive glass.
There's Cadeau. Open three. And he hits.
And Kevin, I don't mind that three because Adad Mara had perfect position on the weak side to be able to come up with that offensive rebound.
There's Durkin. Minnesota down 6.
Nice pass.
Tyson to the rim for 2. 4-point game again in Ann Arbor.
Michigan not coming together shoulder to shoulder, created that open slot to be able to slide down, and Kay Tyson taking advantage there.
Johnson tipped by Durkin. Burnett able to save it.
And Johnson catches it that low, Kevin. He's got to go to work.
And Cadeau right up on the rim for the big man.
I think that may have been goaltended, though. That was in the cylinder. But I like the fact that they're throwing it up to him. 7-3.
Niko Medved, I think, is asking that same question. Was that goaltending? Was that ball in the cylinder? Tyson got the screen from Grove. Count the bucket and a foul. A triple for Tyson and a chance for one more at the line after Lindeborg commits his second.
Kevin, watch as Tyson comes off of this and watch his feet. This is one of the first times over the last 5 possessions that he's kept his good body balance, and with a guy who can shoot it like he does, able to knock that one down. Adad Mara, just throw it up there and let the big fella go get it. I don't care if that's pretty close. That could have been in the cylinder.
But a 4-point play on this end makes it a 2-point game in front of a stunned crowd here in Michigan.
Now Michigan's been able to get it into the paint. I'd like to see the recipient be more aggressive. There's a lob on the backside of Adad Mara. 15 and white is wide open on that baseline side.
Another kick ball from Minnesota, Isaac Osama. Yeah, Mara was calling for his point to the heavens. Throw it up to me.
There's no one on this Minnesota team that can deal with him in that airspace.
Well, not to mention, as you mentioned, Grayson Grove with that shoulder situation. Can he get the arm all the way up to where he needs it?
That's a really good point. Morez Johnson has the same advantage inside.
And to shoot. Back to Burnett. On the drive, Burnett through the lane finds Lindeborg. The three up and down. First points for Yaxel Lindeborg under 17 to play in the ballgame.
I love catch and shoot threes that come off of paint touches. Well executed there by the Wolverines.
Tyson wanted the answer. There's Durkin. 6 to shoot. Reynolds going to have to hurry. Calling out the screen for Grove. Reynolds turns the corner against Johnson. Was bumped by Morez Johnson. That's a foul, his first. And Langston Reynolds going to the line for a pair.
Folks, watch the navigation along the baseline here by Demar Burnett. Almost loses his balance. Still able to get a nice pass over there to Yaxel Lindeborg, who knocks that three down. He struggled from 3 on the year, but 8 of 19 from 3, 42% over his last 3 games. And for this team to win a national title, he's got to be able to make those wide open shots.
5 straight games in double figures. Slow start to this one with just the 3 points as Reynolds able to coax that first free throw down.
Kevin, I like what Langston Reynolds is doing here. is they're switching that action, and he is driving to the basket. Oh, Yaxel Lindenborg, a little change of gear here.
Yeah, it's like NASCAR, you know, you've got a tire change at halftime. He changed the tires out. He went from blue to yellow, maybe better traction for Yaxel Lindenborg.
Maybe you and I should go change our dress shoes into sneakers. What do you think?
Are they providing sneakers for us? I'm in.
You always want stuff for free.
If it's free, it's me. If it's free, I'll take 3, whichever you prefer. Here's Elliot Cadeau on the run. And underneath, there's Johnson. You've been calling for that all game long. Let the big dogs eat.
For Johnson, for Mara, it's open every single time. And again, Minnesota can't waste any fouls because they don't have bench depth, especially at the forward and center positions.
There's Asama.
Durkin's been quiet. Let's see if they can get him going here. Number 3, Minnesota.
In the corner, tough. 3 seconds to go. Asama going to have to launch. Step back triple for Asama is short, and the rebound ends up with Cadeau.
Really good defense.
Oh, and how about Durkin? The intercept. Turnover number 9 for Michigan. Well, they changed one. It's actually officially 8. It was 9. Or was 8 at halftime. Now they've taken one back. So he has 8 now for the game. The Michigan Wolverines do. Reynolds inside. Missed that one strong, and Gale the rebound.
Love the early push here by the Wolverines. It's a Morris Johnson inside. He's unguardable.
Gale in the corner, the triple and air ball, and scooped up by Tyson. So a 5-point game. Minnesota's not hit a shot in 3 minutes. Asama will step back for a 3. Great look, just a little strong. Gale on the run, and a foul. Isaac Asama with his fourth game foul for Minnesota. That's important. There's no depth. Nobody in foul trouble for the Gophers right now. Dusty May, head coach, Michigan, and founder of May's Resort Wear. You see those shirts everywhere. You find them in Ann Arbor and all through the state of Michigan. Alongside LaFonso Ellis, I'm Kevin Kugler. This Michigan team wants to get off the beach a little bit more here in this second half. It has been sort of a relaxing game as far as effort goes. They're trying to get out of that and get this offense going a little bit.
Well, as you know, I think this is the best front court in all of college basketball, and they've had to find a way to get these guys involved here in the second half, and indeed they have. Lindenborg, Johnson Jr., Mara, look at the numbers, folks. Only 4 points in the first half, 9 here, and I think the Wolverines need a lot more of that. They're missing opportunities for their bigs inside.
This Minnesota zone kind of lulls you into a vacation mindset on this night where they ask the student section to dress up in their pool attire. Lindenborg with the pass fake into the corner, finds the open Kaysen at 3, pinballs around and gets the home roll.
Dribble penetration, passing, foul line area in the paint. Now that defense collapses a bit, and you can find opportunities either on the short corner or you can get it long as they did there, able to knock down that 3.
Here's Tyson trying to answer, and he does. Stepped into a 3 in transition, and a 47-42 Michigan lead.
His 3-point shooting ability, elite.
4 for 8 now from 3. Had 7 in their last ball game in the win against Rutgers. And a jam by Mara inside. They threw it up to the big man.
Finally, and that's there every time. And again, all of a sudden, Michigan's starting to get some really good stuff by touching the paint early.
And a turnover. Kaysen to the other end. And he flips it over the front of the rim. And a timeout taken by Minnesota as Michigan has opened up the 9-point lead.
Folks, this is beautiful. He could have taken that shot, but able to penetrate to the, able to throw that over the top. That's 7-3 throwing that down. Michigan up 9 at home.
Don't miss the Big Ten Network's live coverage of the 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament from Chicago, March 11th through the 13th. Timeout taken by Niko Medved as, look at this. This is why, part of it anyway.
It's been there all night long. And folks, look at this. Aday Mara is 7'3", and he's got 1 foot on the ground while he's dunking that basketball. That is ridiculous. But that's why we've been asking for it, Kev. There's nowhere up around the backboard you can't throw it that he can't get to it.
Flat-footed, almost.
What a luxury.
That is not something that Minnesota can contest. Here's Durkin with a contested three. That's off, and the rebound, Kaysen.
Nice job by Roddy Gale Jr. not allowing himself to get screened. He's open on the baseline as well.
Oh, and he passed it back out.
I'd like to see him go up with that one.
Looked like he had a little bit of a crease to do so, but instead back to work. Lendeboer. Gale sets the screen, gets it from Kaysen, rejected by Grayson Grove.
It's a really nice reaction by Groves. He's
in the corner, jumper up and down. That's a triple for Isaac Asama.
set up nicely there by Cade Tyson, number 10. Able to shot fake that one, draw an extra defender, and kick it to his right. Really well executed in transition.
Minnesota just keeps hanging around and hanging around. Kaysen on the drive, lost the ball, poked free. Reynolds got a hand on it.
Another turnover by the Wolverines.
Asama. Reynolds matched up against Lendeboer.
The switches have been so much better here in the second half for the Wolverines.
Grove needs a little help. Here's Tyson, 5 to shoot. Mara in front of him. He'll have to launch, and Mara says, not my watch. And a whistle. And a shot clock violation. It'll be Michigan ball. Timeout on the floor with 11:16 to go, and Aday Mara flexing his muscle. Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. And by Hardee's, where there's goodness in the making. Every day from sunrise to supper time. Michigan on a 12-2 burst over the last 2.5 minutes. Fueled by L.J. Kaysen finding the range from 3, and you see what this resume shows you. Michigan is well on their way to being a #1 seed, maybe the overall #1 seed. And one of the reasons that this team has been so good all year long, LaFonso Ellis, is that depth, and you're seeing it tonight. The starters not able to get it going. How about 30-0 off the bench for Michigan?
And it was Roddy Gale in the first half with 7 off the bench, and now L.J. Kaysen has gotten hot here in the second half. He's got 14. Bench making a huge contribution to this game tonight.
And the lack of a bench may be catching up in this game with Minnesota. These guys are looking tired.
Jump shots are short, late on the closeouts. Those are 2 signs of fatigue.
Shot clock down to 3, gonna have to hurry again. Reynolds with Mara in his face, banks it home. Langston Reynolds had to put a little extra on that to get it over the big man.
Yes. I love this.
Mara just going to work. Back out to McKinney for 3. Michigan finding that range, their 13th triple of the night.
The shot quality, I don't mind them shooting threes, Kevin. It's the quality of the threes, and the quality of the threes here in the second half have been at a high level.
Reynolds will try again. Bank not open this time. Mara with the rebound.
And many of the made threes in the second half have come off paint touches, and those are the kind of step-in threes that you want.
Cheddar, Kaysen, hot hand. This time won't go. 8 of 13, though, Michigan in the second half for 3.
Early on against that zone, it was just kind of moving it around, no attacking, and just quick jacks. Here in the second half, they've been intentional about getting that thing in the paint and inside-out threes.
Here's Grove, set 3. That won't go. Problem for Minnesota as they work it underneath the Mara. One of the problems, he's fouled by Grove, and he'll go to the line. But Fonz, it's so difficult when you play this pace to be able to come back from a big deficit with a flurry of points.
Oh, well, there's no question about it. And another thing that Michigan has done is they've raised the level of their defense as well. Guys are fighting over those screens where they're kind of laying on them early. They're coming together on their switches where they were leaving gaps early on that Minnesota was able to attack. And so I love how this team has raised their level on the defensive end here in the second half.
Don't miss a Wednesday night hoops triple header as Nebraska hosts Maryland. Ohio State battles Iowa, and Wisconsin takes on Oregon. Coverage begins with the tip-off show at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. A couple of Alfonso Ellis' surprising teams on display tomorrow night on the Big Ten Network.
Iowa, a team that we didn't think would make a splash in this rugged Big Ten in the first year in, and they've been awesome. Bennett Sturts, if you haven't seen them, folks, third in the Big Ten in scoring at 21 points a game, and man, that's a really good defense that Iowa has as well.
And a bump and a foul. Elliot Cadeau with his first, just the third team foul on Michigan in this second half.
And speaking of Iowa, that game that Ohio State has against them, that's a huge game for Ohio State. They don't have a single quad one win on the year. If they can pull that one off, that would give them one.
An opportunity to move a little bit in the Big Ten with the surprising loss for Indiana at home tonight to Northwestern, although maybe it shouldn't be surprising. 6 straight wins for Northwestern against Indiana as Cadeau gets to the rim for 2.
It's a great example of why you don't want this Wolverines team out in transition. My goodness, what a move.
Tyson, 3 will drop and quiet this crowd. Michigan getting the offense going. 38 second half points after they went into the locker room with 32. Burnett on the deck. Possession are always pointing Michigan's way. This will stay Wolverine ball with 9 to shoot.
And folks, watch Elliot Cadeau, full speed Euro step. That is really sick. If I tried that, my kneecaps would be up in the corner end zone over there. What a move by Elliot Cadeau. That is insane. Whew. That was nasty.
Burnett's going to have to launch. Lendeborg battling for the rebound, but Osama takes it away.
I really like Osama. He's a gritty little dude.
12 points tonight, 4 rebounds for Osama. He'll attack. Extra pass, Tyson on the drive, right at the defense, and he'll work his way to the line with 4:15 to play.
There's such a threat to shoot the 3. We talked about it, 41% on the year and then 49% from 3 over his last 5 games. And this is the area of his game that's really improved. He gives you that shot fake and he gets to the line. 4th in the Big Ten in free throw rate. Does an excellent job of getting to the foul line.
Doubles in every game played this year. Tyson with 19 tonight. Lendeborg with 3 points and now 3 fouls. Cade Tyson, his 12th game with 20 points or more this season. Oh, Cadeau foul. That'll be on Reynolds with the reach in, his second, team's 5th. 4:01 to go, and Michigan will inbound.
Minnesota continues to be scrappy. You can see the fatigue both in their bodies and on their faces, but this is a hard-playing team, and they're not surrendering to the Wolverines. Nice cut by McKinney. He was wide open.
And the no-look to Burnett in the corner. That was beautiful. Cadeau looking off the safety and firing that strike into the corner.
Set up by McKinney. He took the help defender right underneath the basket with him, which opened up that corner 3 for Nimari Burnett.
Triple in the corner, trying to answer, and it's Durkin with his third three.
Miscommunication on that switch. Allow Durkin to be wide open, and he finally gets one to fall here in the second half.
Cadeau. Just to back it out. Morez Johnson Jr. inside, in the corner, three, up and off, and the rebound to Cade Tyson. Reynolds on the push all the way to the rim for two.
Been so impressed tonight with his toughness and his versatility off the bounce.
And Morez Johnson just off his fingertips with the lob.
Yes.
I know you liked the idea, though.
I love it.
Step in three, air ball out of bounds. 73-62, Michigan by 11.
Ellie Cadeau impacting this game in a variety of ways. A nice little assist there, and this Euro step is just sick. And lays that one off the glass. And sometimes you got to love your own work. Look at the stink face as he coming up the floor. Woo.
Less than 24 hours after the first plane went off the runway, they were up and they were out.
We were in a plane crash 5 days ago, and now we just won the Big Ten tournament.
2 minutes and 47 seconds of game action left, and then we hit you with the big story, the miracle of March 8th. It's immediately after our game here in Ann Arbor. The story of the remarkable postseason for Michigan basketball in March of 2017. The plane crash on the way to the Big Ten tournament in Washington, D.C. It is coming up. And that Big Ten tournament moment, look at the visual. You didn't have the uniforms. They had to wear alternate uniforms to start off that Big Ten tournament because they were still considered part of the evidence of the plane crash. And Michigan wins that tournament after that start. One of the more remarkable postseason tournament runs ever.
How about the mental toughness of that one? You go from being just afraid for your life and then all of a sudden have to regroup emotionally, mentally, and physically, and then you come in and make the run that they made. To your point, it was remarkable.
Here's Gale. He had 7 in the first half. He's been quiet in this second. It's been more the Cadeau Kaysen show in the second. Gale going back to work inside here and lost the handle on it, gets it back to Cadeau. What a pass to Burnett in the corner. Off the side of the backboard, and Gale is fouled by Bobby Durkin. That'll be his third. Our game leaders are brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, and it's Cade Tyson leading the way, not a surprise, from Minnesota. How about Elliot Cadeau? 15 points, 6 of 9 from the floor, and 3 of 6 from 3.
When the offense, especially in the second half, seemed like it stalled a little bit on that one possession, that little sidestep three that he knocked down really got him and his team going. And the speed that he plays with. Able to get into the lane. He's had a terrific season. He's transferred from North Carolina.
Gale with a really nice night. 9 points. They needed him in a big way in that first half, and he delivered when Michigan's offense was stuck in neutral.
Offensive rebounding, got on the glass, driving it, making good decisions off 2 feet.
6 rebounds tonight. Here's Osama. The rebound, Gale, give him a 7th. Gale Jr.
just quietly contributes to winning. Number 11 and white.
Seen a lot of basketball in his career. 10 to shoot. Here's Gale. Shot fake inside. Able to keep the possession to Cadeau for a triple. And a rebound. Morez Johnson Jr. cleans it up, puts it back up for his 6th point.
Perfect position to be able to come off that offensive rebound.
Michigan closing in on a share of the Big Ten regular season title. Bobby Durkin trying to make it tough on him, the final 110.
And in rhythm 3, a little screen at the top created that little gap for him to be able to get that shot off. Durkin, man, he can stroke it.
Zip that pass from Cadeau to Johnson.
1 minute remaining.
Here's Cadeau, another behind the back bounce. 15 to shoot. Here's Gale. Lost the handle on that one. And a turnover back to Minnesota. 39.4 seconds to go, and Michigan about to clinch a share of the Big Ten regular season title. Their 16th crown and their first since 2021.
And I know they would love to not only win that one, but also win the Big Ten tournament championship for the second year in a row as well.
Seconds to go. Reynolds.
Nice.
And Grove to the rim for 2. 10-point game. 27 seconds left. Minnesota's played the last 25 minutes plus with the same 5 on the floor. They battled, but they're going to fall short in this one.
Got to applaud the toughness of those guys wearing that maroon uniform. I mean, to be able to play toe-to-toe with a team that has a legit chance to win the national title on its home floor. An impressive performance by the Golden Gophers.
And for the first time since 2021, it can be said, the Michigan Wolverines clinch a share of the Big Ten regular season title, their 16th in school history.